Red Hot Chili Peppers?
You just heard me say it.
I know. I didn't have any. That's what I asked you. If it was Red Hot, I'd never heard of it before. Welcome back to the Five. Turning to 2012 news now. Delusional Mitt Romney says he's the candidate that can turn this economy around. And today, just 2 days before President Obama's job speech, he, Mitty Boy, unveiled his own plan. It consists of 59 proposals, including 10 that he says he would introduce on the first day in office. I'm going to hold my breath on that, Mitty. Here's what he said in Las Vegas just a little while ago.
We've actually gone through an analysis to look and see what the impact of this plan would be on the American people. And just to put this in context, in the first 4 years, if I'm lucky enough to be president, in the first 4 years, this will grow the economy at approximately 4% per year for each of those 4 years. It will add 11.5 million new jobs for Americans.
He's in a batting cage.
Are you kidding me? If that ain't an acid flashback, I don't know what is. The idea that he's going to grow, Andrew, you know this, the Romney campaign pretty well. You really think that they believe that anybody's going to believe they can get 11 million new jobs in 4 years?
I do, or they wouldn't have done it. I do think there's a lot of information here. I think that it's sort of an everything but the kitchen sink approach, and it seems a little bit reactionary to Huntsman, and I would say it doesn't go as far, at least on tax rates, as Huntsman does. I mean, Huntsman's rates, he took those from the Simpson-Bowles plan, and they're very aggressive and they're very good. But I like a lot of this stuff in here. I mean, he talks about opening land up for drilling. He talks about limiting discretionary spending. What else does he talk about?
There's some new stuff right there.
Restraint on spending. He talks about eliminating dividends and capital gains, which I like, cutting the corporate tax to 25%, which is also the Huntsman plan. But hold on, what I don't like, I don't like the Medicaid block grants. Paul Ryan, that's part of his plan. I think block grants tend to turn into giant Christmas trees. And if, look, federal government can't handle spending, states can't either. Greg? And also the repeal of Obamacare, which is a little bit laughable coming from...
Greg, does it surprise you that Mitty Boy, the first thing he proposes is cutting the corporate tax rate to 25%?
That's why we love him. Hey, but this is Obama's lasting achievement. There are now officially more jobs plans than there are jobs. That's right.
Dana, what, do you really believe this? First of all, this stuff, you go to the Heritage Foundation and find all this stuff 3 weeks ago.
Well, I think that, here's the thing. I actually think they've probably been working on it for a long time, because it takes, believe me, if you're doing this by committee and you're thinking about a campaign, long range, and you have to believe that you're going to win and that you're going to be held accountable for these promises. Just like President Obama said there would be 8% unemployment at this point, and there's not, and he's paying the consequences for that. I don't think you have to come up with whiz-bang new proposals that no one's ever heard of, because what he's talking about is getting back to what has worked in the past.
Well, is that his book right there?
Yeah, and actually, I think it is the first presidential candidate's book that you can download on a Kindle.
Okay, let me just say that for those of you like me who have trouble sleeping, take this to bed tonight with you, and I guarantee you that Sominex sales will plummet.
You might learn something.
When's the last time you took a book to bed?
May I make a point?
I've taken a lot of books to bed.
May I get in this segment a little bit? Here, the amount of jobs, we talked about this yesterday, the amount of jobs Mr. Obama
It's an
created
old line, man.
Okay, then how about this, Bob? We'll go with the vitamin water zero.
You just hit a cameraman.
I'm sorry.
Do you honestly think that Mitt Romney thought he was going to create 11 million jobs? I mean, 11, think about that for a second. That would mean 3 million people unemployed. That would be about less than, what, 1.5% unemployment. It's impossible.
Well, but
that's not what it is. The point is that he has a plan. He has ideas. We have nothing from Obama.
You're going to get one Thursday, though. You're going to get one Thursday. That's why
Can I get off of Mitt Romney just because he bores me to death and say that Bachmann, not exactly, but Bachmann lost her campaign manager, Ed Rollins, who's an old friend of mine. He actually ran Reagan's campaign when I was doing Mondale's. Ed had to get out for health reasons. A lot of people were suggesting he got out. He was shoved out. I happen to know that Ed is sick. I talked to him a few days ago. He couldn't keep up the pace of running a presidential campaign. Believe me, as one who's done it, it's very difficult to do. But Bachmann's going to miss a very important, experienced person.
I agree, but I'm not sure he stepped down. I mean, the first thing he did, he said, by the way, this is a two-person race now, Romney and Perry. If you just step down because you're sick and you're really involved in the campaign, is that something you say?
I think he took the earthquake as a sign.
it's possible. Can I make one point before we have to go? Because in that book is written by Mitt Romney's book, two economists who came back with him from the 2008 campaign to 2012. They're serious people. One of the things that Bachmann didn't have, she's not run before, so she's doesn't have that type of loyalty yet.
But do you think, Dana, that some of the advisors that Romney has are former Bush advisors? Do you think that's why they didn't want to go bolder with some of these tax rates? Because they didn't
No,
want
I think they're serious economists.
You're getting in trouble with the producers. The producers are yelling at me because you're talking. And I love to hear what you say, but the producers are mad at me now. Coming up, a new report reveals that billions of dollars in tax credits went to undocumented workers. But seeing as they're actually doing the work, Americans won't do. I'm not sure what the problem is, but others do. And we'll debate that next on The Five. Of course they will. Who's going to win?